All right. Well, mine has to do with the logbook, and y'all are going to get tired of me talking about the logbook. But just to give an update, I have had 9 come in so far. Well, 9 that have been processed. I've got some others that people are still working on. But we have got 2 people that have already reached level 3. That's AK4FA and WB5WAJ. Those that have reached level 2, AI4VP, KA4OTB, KC1DWP, N4BAX, and W4DML. Level 1, KG4TFV, and KM4SOA. And I want to thank those people for going ahead and getting those in, and just encourage everybody else to take the workbook and look at it and go ahead and get that in, because where we need to deploy people, we would want to know the level of proficiency of the people. And that's how we're going to keep track of it. We're keeping a database on Dropbox so that anybody on the committee that has access to the Dropbox folders can, instead of me, Jeff, Jack, anybody else on the committee, Cliff, could look and see who has the qualifications for the task at hand. So back to Ned.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Ed asked me to talk about field day, just a recap of field day. And so we had an interesting field day. There was an article that came out in the ARRL.org website that said that field day is on track to be, a huge event, and they've already received over 8,000, nearly 9,000 field day entries so far. So it was a really good turnout. The article said that the paper forms are starting to trickle in now, people who didn't, contribute electronically. We had 27 people who, let's see if my arrow key's working here. Okay. So we had these 27 people who filled out the form electronically and entered that into the ARRL web app to post their scores using the WCARES-TN. Paul texted me a couple of call signs who entered the name as it was originally designated a long time ago before we changed it to a shorter WCARES.TN. So I'll contact ARRL to see if we can get those 2 logs changed. We also had this, live scoring thing turned on, and this is what that screen looked like when the contest was over, the event. I won't say contest, but it's sorted by score here on the left-hand column, and you can see that Tim Krath, 84CJ, had the highest posted score at the time, but this doesn't take into account multipliers and people who were doing this without using the N3FJP software who weren't doing this. So actually, Ted Edwards, W3TB, scored the highest. He had 1,000 contacts, and at 2 points apiece, he ended up with 2,000 points. So hats off to Ted for doing such a great job with that. We also had live chat running using this Discord app, and here's just a screenshot of what it looked like at one point during the contest. I think this was really neat. We were able to just kind of chat back and forth, and people were posting in pictures, like here's Bill Jorgensen and his son KC. So that was really cool to get live pictures and just stuff that people grabbed off the internet and posted in for fun, pasted in for fun. So I thought that was really cool. So I came away feeling like this was about as good as it could have been considering our circumstances. I still felt kind of connected to people because I could see other people's scores live, and because I could, kind of carry on with conversations or trash talk or whatever, on this Discord app. So I thought it worked out really well. I'm curious to hear what other people whether people thought about it, or, if God forbid we're in the same situation next year, which I do not think is going to be the case. If anybody has any suggestions on what we should do differently in this case, I personally think that this live chat thing was so interesting that we could run that even during a normal field day. If all the stations at the EOC, usually we'll have like 5 stations or so, if they all had this, we could just like message each other to say, hey, I'm going to switch over to 40 meters now. Is that okay? We could do that kind of thing. And of course, if we're doing that, those 5 stations not only could talk to each other, but anybody from home, could message people there and say, hey, I'm going to bring some donuts or, whatever. So there's some interesting things I think we could do, keeping this chat for field day, and then other things that we might do throughout the year. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking and just open it up to anybody who wants to comment about field day, things that they enjoyed about it, things that they think we should maybe do differently next time.
Cliff, I think you and any of the other organizers did a great job making this work. It was a lot of fun, and it really worked out very smoothly. So, hats off to you.
Thank you. I didn't do anything special. The software, the chat, all that kind of stuff, I didn't write any of that. So I just kind of, helped it to get configured, but I didn't really do anything. But I appreciate your saying that, Joe.
We've done the traditional field day forever and ever, and even till yesterday. But there was such uniqueness about the one we did this year. I don't know if the league, it has even gotten that far yet, but I wouldn't be opposed to every 3 or 4 years having a different one like we had this time. Maybe that's just me talking, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the internet link up with everyone was great. That really made it work much better.
Yeah.
We had a long discussion at the beginning of the board meeting about field day, and the response was good across the board. The one problem was where we normally have like 2,000 entries on field day, there was like 8,900 this time. So there was over 4 times as many stations on the air, and that's what y'all saw, with the bands being full from one end to the other. But everybody had a good time. Most everybody was inventive like we were. I don't know of but a couple of others that use Scott software like we did, but they all got together and aggregated their scores. And by and large, everybody enjoyed it. I'm hoping we don't have to do it again, but if we do, you've got a system down that everybody seems to like, and it works.
Yeah. One thing I've thought about for a couple of years that would be fun, I believe, would be at some point, like what Jack was saying, maybe every 3 or 4 years, do something kind of different. One thing might be to run the, field day out of the EOC as normal, but then have a parallel event that's more social. So maybe, have, 4 or 5 stations run out of the EOC, and then somewhere else, maybe a publicly, visible location, have a station or 2 set up just for fun, and have anybody who's not, working at the EOC, come out and, we'll cook out, we'll hang out, we'll play radio in the field. I just think it might be kind of interesting because, the EOC during field day is pretty intense. There's just not a lot of room to hang out with each other without disturbing somebody or that kind of thing. So maybe we could try that someday. It's just a kind of a social event in parallel with the, the hardcore, event at the EOC. It's just an idea.
So you're volunteering to set up field day at the corral?
Yep.
I didn't say the corral. I didn't. I was thinking more like, in the front of the library, just like on the front lawn at the library where they got some nice big trees and something like that. But yeah. In
the bar at Miller's Ale House.
That's right. We can work remote. from there.
Yeah, Cliff, I just want to say overall, I think you did a great job, man. It was a lot of fun. All the stuff you put together for us. And I think that the Discord and then also seeing the scores was just amazing because, you know, when Hilton was making a run or Bill Jorgensen was making a run there, you know, it gave you a lot of emphasis to, you know, to keep going, to push harder.
Right. I know you and Tim Kreth were kind of for a while.
I never figured I'd be close to him because of him doing all the CW, but I tell you what, I really did enjoy Field Day this year, and I miss seeing everyone. But with the Discord and being able to talk and badmouth, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Tim, you got something to say?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Bill J. Getting over 100 Qs an hour, he was the animal, wasn't he?
He was
impressive.
Going.
That was impressive.
Maybe we could have a picnic on the Andrew Jackson Hermitage lawn.
On the Andrew Jackson?
Yeah, we could have the social part at a picnic out on the front lawn.
Oh, okay.
I have a connection.
Okay. Well, that's cool. All right. Well, let's shift gears. I'm going to stop this presentation